The American President Donald Trump's call to his Russian counterpart has left Europe scrambling for options, and Ukraine is left really nervous. The Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has declined Donald Trump's offer to acquire about half of the former's mineral reserves to pay for all the assistance that is being provided during the war. The Ukrainian president has said that the U.S. minerals deal must be linked to Ukraine's security guarantees. And our next report tells you how Donald Trump has stunned his allies with a peace plan for Ukraine.
You have no question. In fact, Melania, here you go.
As the brutal war in Ukraine enters its third year, the frustration mounts along the front lines. Outnumbered and outgunned by relentless Russian assaults, Ukraine's military is struggling with low morale and desertion. President Donald Trump's call to his Russian counterpart Vladimir Putin has only deepened a sense of betrayal. Ukrainian soldiers fear the US is handing over easy concessions to Putin after years of costly fighting.
The consequences will be catastrophic. We will keep losing. We are paying a high price now, and it will be even higher. I don't even know how the price can be any higher. I have lost many friends during this time, people I served with. I don't want to lose more people, brothers and sisters in arms.
I think it will be chaos. The fighters, the guys who are now fighting for our land, for pieces of our land, I think they won't listen to Zelensky, and we will keep pushing, because this is our land. How can we give it to someone just because they took it? I don't think it is going to work out.
With the US calling time on its support for Ukraine and European allies, President Zelensky is bargaining hard to get back all land seized by Putin. The Ukrainian president has set out conditions for a meeting with Putin, saying there will be no peace plan without consensus of the US and Europe.
And really what we need to.
But amid the contradictory messages from the White House, Zelensky's sense of isolation is all too apparent.
Everything needed to protect lives in modern war should be produced in Europe fully. Europe has everything it takes. Europe just needs to come together and start acting in a way that no one can say no to Europe. Boss it round or threat it like a pushover.
Trump's shift in priorities is also posing doubts over Europe's security. Reports state that a group of European countries are quietly working on a plan to send troops into Ukraine to help enforce any future peace settlement with Russia. Led by Britain and France, they were said to be exploring the kind of force that might be needed for Ukraine about a year ago. But the urgency for a concrete plan has grown amid concern that Trump might go over their heads and possibly even Ukraine's to clinch a deal with Putin. With Trump yet to reveal the full details of his Ukraine peace plan, many questions remain unanswered. But the most crucial of them all, what role will the United States play in bringing peace to Ukraine? Bureau Report, WION World is One.
And I earlier spoke with Professor Peter Kuznick, who's a professor of history at the American University. Listen to what he had to say.
I don't think it's feasible. Really, NATO is Europe's army, and Ukraine is not part of NATO, but the rest of Europe is part of NATO. I mean, there are 32 member states in NATO, and I think other than the US and Canada, they're all in Europe. So this is as close as Europe is going to have to having its own army. Now, the question is, do we want to have a more militarized world? Do we really want to spend more money on perfecting the means of killing than looking for peaceful solutions and alternatives? And I think that's the choice that Europe faces now. You have to recognize the reality on the battlefield. Every day, Russia is gaining more and more ground inside Ukraine. And that's what Hegseth was saying. And that's the reality that people have to face. The more they delay in this negotiation, the more of Ukraine that Russia will control. And so, and with all of the people being killed and wounded, all of the economy being wasted on this, I don't want to see a more militarized Europe. I want to see a more peaceful Europe.
For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.